Welcome guys on the designer's dashboard. This is me, Sally, with all pleasure. It's so much love from me to you and such a pleasure to sit in front of you. I wish this was interactive. It just feels like talking to myself, but I would love to see your faces when I sit down here and I share a lot with you. But you are welcome back to the designer's dashboard. This is a platform, a channel that is all about creativity. I had a whole lot of things to talk about today that are different from what I'm actually going to talk about, because the last time I talked about knowledge, fashion knowledge, what you need to do if you enroll in a fashion school in Nigeria, and I shared some of my experiences with you guys. I shared some of my books and all of that. The video is still down below. You can go and watch it if you want. That your comments were beneficial. I read some reviews. Some people reached out to me actually after my last video and they said, oh, we think you should do this and that, and then you should correct this and that. Thumbs up to you guys, and that's showing me some love. Your love can be tough. I really don't mind tough love. If I do something or I say something that is not right or the knowledge is not right, I think it is okay to go down to the comment section and just correct me about that, because I'm also here to learn. I do not know everything. I just know the much that I do, but I love to share because I feel that Nigeria has a long creative way. There's nothing, no area of business or entrepreneurship that is saturated in Nigeria. So I think it is something that we need to develop ourselves. So I'm here to talk all about that and all. By the way, let me give you a tip. I have been wearing my nails back to back since March. We were on a lockdown, but I didn't know why my nails would be on a lockdown. I also didn't know why my hair would be on a lockdown. I was in Makodi. Makodi was a bit relaxed. We didn't really have, a case of the virus in Makodi for a very long time. So even though there was a partial lockdown, it was a bit relaxed, and then, family people and all of that. So I got someone coming to the house from time to time wearing her mask to make my nails and all. So my nails were all destroyed. When I took them out yesterday, jeez, when this usually happens, I use tea tree oil. So that's my tip for today. I use tea tree oil. I think it's the most healing oil when you have some fungal growth on your nails and all that. It works for me. Even when I have the fungal growth and then I need to fix my nails again because I have to go for a wedding or something, I just carry the tea tree oil and then I drop a little bit inside. I don't want you guys to look at it too much because it doesn't look too nice. But that's okay. This is me and I'm comfortable in myself just sitting down here. That's not what I want to talk about anyway, but I felt I should share that because if you have fungal growth, massage it in your nails in the night before you sleep, and then after a while you just find that the growth is better and it heals really fast. How I have been working out my passion. So that's what I want to talk about, so that you can learn one or two things from there. You can help someone else learn one or two things from there. I can tell you certainly about girls and the fact that they love clothes. So starting from my childhood, new clothes excited me, way above the normal, oh, it's a new dress and all of that, because besides having a new dress, I could pick the dress up and just see what was wrong with it, if it was long sleeved and needed to be short, and then sometimes I will cut out a whole dress and use a needle and thread to just fix it, and sometimes I'll cut off the sleeves entirely. It used to piss my mom off. I got beaten for it, I must tell you the truth. Something else that was really prominent in my love for fashion when I was a kid was, I think at the age of 12 to 13, when I was in boarding secondary school, I started creating this thing I called a lookbook. As at then, I didn't know it was a lookbook, but each time that I went on that long holiday, I would get a hardcover binded book, and then I'll put the book together. I'll get my mom's old newspapers, and then I'll cut out all the things that, all the looks, the fashion looks in those magazines, and then I'll paste them in the book, and then I'll create the latest trendy fashion book that I would resume school with, and everybody would be looking at it, would borrow it from me and then take a look at it and all that. I did this thing consistently for many years. There's something else that I did during the holidays, was to get like a long note. Whenever I had a little pocket money, I would sit down, take my time and copy out lyrics of music, all of it. So I had a latest book that always had the lyrics of music. I would take them to school. Something else that makes me feel a bit funny talking about it right now, but my classmates, by the time we got to senior secondary school, apart from coming to me to collect my lyrics book, I sing along the latest tracks that were raining at the time, they would also come to me and say, I like this person, and help me write a love letter to the person, because I was just good at stuff like that, poems and all that, and I was really good at literature. I used to read a lot of books. Everybody knew me with Mills and Bones. Besides reading Mills and Bones, I read every scrap of paper in my house when I was growing up, from all the books my mom had on the shelf, from the ones that didn't make sense, from the Shakespeare to the scrap of papers that just existed in my house. I read everything, so which meant that I was tilted towards literature. That means I read English in the university. It means that I was not in the wrong place after all. There were other things that happened in my house that I loved to do so much. I loved curtains. I loved to move things around in my house a whole lot when I was growing up. I would just move furniture from one place to the other. That didn't sit too well with my mom if she came back and her house was disorganized. We had this long living room that had, you know, the dining section at the other, and then there was a rug on the floor that was quite heavy. So in the mornings, what I would do when I wanted to move things around, I got a little bored with how the house was, I would just open the doors and then drag out that rug, start removing dirt from it on the veranda. We had the traditional old veranda, and then I would clean the louvers, take care of everything and dust everywhere. That gave me a chance to move around things in my house. Every single time that I cleaned, my mom just came back and saw that her living room was looking different. Now I'm going somewhere with all of this. And then there's something else that I loved so much. I loved flowers, and I still do. You know, in my space there was always flowers. There's always flowers. It just gives me so much happiness to know the kind of, you know, different blossoms that come with flowers, the different colors and all of that. It just pleases my heart so much. Anyway, I started that right from when I was a child. I think when I was a teenager in secondary school, I just overheard someone, I can't really recall, but I did overhear someone saying that, talking about how to plant a lawn, and they were saying that you dig hedges like 2 feet apart, and then go get the lawn and then put it in the hedges on straight lines, right? Okay, and then as you water it, they will spread out, and then you can have an extended lawn. That was my project for the next holiday. When I got home, I just, you know, like a part of my house, and then I did that lawn thing. I don't know how I lost those, but I had seedlings of sunflower, and I planted sunflower. Sunflower is seasonal, and then sometimes a stalk of it can just bring out one flower, it blossoms, and then it goes out, and that's it. You may have to plant it again. So I did that seasonally, you know, during every holiday. You know, Nigeria is really sunny. The time that I came home, on each side of the steps as you climbed, I had, you know, a flower bed lawn, and then I used to plant sunflowers and all of that right there, and then they'll blossom and they'll die out, and then I'll get the seedlings, and the next season I'll plant them again. So I did that consistently. In fact, in recent years, I think in 2010, when I got my first place in Abuja, I was very excited to rent somebody's house. Then I went all the way to Benue, to where I had grown up. I got some of the flowers, I put them in the car fresh, and then I came back to Abuja. I transplanted the flowers because I didn't want to lose all that hard work, and that was coming from all the way from my teenage years. Besides that, I loved curtains. I remember there's also a story to that curtain thing. Me loving curtains and loving to just change them. My mother was not giving me attention. This is not meant to run you down, no mommy, but some of these things, she just saw it that this girl wants to trouble me. What is it? There was a day she sent me to the market. We live in a town called Gooooo, and she said she was going to Makodi, and then she gave me money to take it to the market and just give a certain lady. The lady was the one who used to make curtains for her seasonally, so she said, okay, take this money to the woman and just give it to her to keep for her, because she was traveling to another town and she didn't want to spend the money probably. So I was just supposed to go and give her the money, so when she gets back, she'll go to the market at her convenience, and then she'll get the curtains done. And then that is how 16-year-old Sally, I don't even know if I was up to 16 or, but I went to the market and I sat down and told that woman that my mom said I should come and make curtains. Meanwhile, I didn't even know what the measurement was. She said, what is the measurement? I brought one of our old curtains, was not the precise. I think at the time my mom made that one. Maybe she didn't have enough money or something. So it's just very tiny. But I told the woman that we were going to replicate that in the number of windows that we had. So I sat down there and I chose a plain cream curtain with some cream embroidery on it. It looked like what they call damask. So she made these curtains and I took them back in the evening, put them on the windows with all confidence. This woman came back and I was pretending like I didn't know that she said I should just go. I said I didn't hear her. She said, have I ever sent you to make curtains? She was all mad at me, but I have always loved white spaces so much. Anybody who knows me knows that I talk about this a lot. I use white bed sheets and white towels. I just really love white, and I love off-white rugs. I love off-white, you know, I just love all white spaces. So that was what had happened, you know, with my mom. So I grew up as an adult who just needed to go to the university and read some course, and I read English. When I went to the university to read English, by the way, all that I heard everyone telling me was, oh, you end up being a teacher. Who says I need to be a teacher? How about script writing? How about editing? How about writing? A whole lot of things come with it. Besides, I loved literature, but I didn't think about all of that. All that was in my head the whole time was all people said. Oh, come on, Nigerians, we're better than this. But these are the things that we say to people who read English, linguistics. Well, how about transcribing? People who read physics, chemistry. How about production? How about all the chemicals that come that we need to use everywhere in the kitchen, on our bodies, on our hair, and all sorts? All of these things, why do you keep telling people that, oh, you're going to be a teacher because you're reading this? Because I didn't know the limitless possibilities that came with reading English. Neither did I know that if I got more knowledge about the things that I loved to do as a young girl and then harnessed all of these things and channeled it into one same track, then it was going to earn me lots of money. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. Because right now we're young people, but then we leave this passion, we leave this natural talents, we let it lie there. We go to the university and read textbooks until we grow into full-grown adults, and then we begin to talk about passion. By the time we are talking about passion, we're actually talking about it from the place of business. I just want to open a business in code. So we now begin to think, okay, so what will give me money? What's everyone doing? What's that? That's not how it starts. It starts from somewhere. It starts from youth. It starts from your home. It starts from what you love to do, but then it doesn't end there, and it is just going to go haywire. Like me having to go to an 8 to 5 job and then go on Saturdays and learn fashion design. It didn't have to be that way. If all of these things were harnessed into either interior decoration or fashion designing or dressmaking, then that is what I needed to be in school learning, and then the sky would be my limit by now. If I had put all of this into use, Gucci go they learn work, I am telling you guys. But right now, here am I struggling with books, and all of that. Several years later, I had to buy books on curtain. Here it is. I don't think if you can see this very well, but I'll just bring it close up and cover my face with it right now so you get to see what it is. Making curtains and blinds. Over 35 curtains, blinds, pelmet, swags, tails, and whole bags to make. It's a whole lot, but I had to go to some fashion school and learn fashion making or dressmaking for like 3 to 6 months before I got books. Before I read about what it takes to make beautiful curtains, before I could put this into use. Now I love to drink coffee a lot. I'm highly addicted. Coffee is the spark that wakes me up in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, when I wake up in the morning, I open my eyes, I first think about Jesus, and then I think about coffee. And then when I'm drowsy, I don't want to get out of bed. I'll be like, oh, if I get out of this bed, I'm going to take coffee. So I just practically just spring out of bed every morning because I'll take a cup of coffee. That's something the aroma does. So in recent years, I wanted to know how to make different coffees. Here it is. I had to go and buy a book that teaches me about coffee, recipe. Here it is. I hope you can actually see what it is. And there's a cute coffee maker at the back. I am just trying to say that all that knowledge is in a book, and it's in a vocational book. It is not in the Bible. We went to church. That's something else that we did. I love the fact that we went to church. I love Jesus. But why we teach our children about Jesus? This morning, my devotion said, in all you do, get knowledge and wisdom. Get knowledge about the cleaning that you need to do. You see all that house that you're cleaning for free, you can clean it and make money. You see all that washing, all of you that keep saying, I love to wash, that's my passion. When I wash, me, I don't love to wash. But anyways, people who love to wash clothes and all of that, how about setting up that laundry? How about getting books about this thing and reading? There is something that is going on in our society, and there's a reason why I'm talking about all this creativity. We love so many things, but are we producing them? We're not. I love scented candles. I just keep buying them. But have I made one? Do I know what it takes to make one? I don't have to make everything. I'm making dresses. You can make candles. In my next video, perhaps, or sometime, I'm going to just run you through, some of the candles that I have. I have really pretty ones. When you lit them up at night, when you want to sleep, just burning out there in the corner, and you wake up and you perceive it. Oh my goodness. I'm talking about producing these things that you love. I'm talking about getting knowledge about these things that you love. You need to harness this knowledge and put it together. So you need to learn about what it is that is your art. There's a whole lot. And I give credit to the tailors that make clothes in Nigeria because they do a lot. People are basically, some of them stark illiterates. They didn't even go to school. So you can know that this is about some passion. You can know that the talent is inborn right there in them. And they're so creative. They come up with styles that you can't even imagine. And then they do it most locally without the right tools to make this fashion work, but they are giving us clothes and we're loving them. I remember when I started dressmaking, I had to go back all the way to the tailor who had been making clothes to me before I went to the university, and I asked him to teach me a few tricks. And then he taught me, like a couple of things, but they were so outdated I couldn't use any of that knowledge. But if you get more knowledge, there are easier ways to do these things. If you harness all that knowledge by getting books, I couldn't get fashion books in Nigeria, especially those that were authored by Nigerians. Most of the people that are making clothes now are just going to some tailor to know how to make clothes. School, they don't have the liberty of a fashion school to go to. But during my devotion today, I learned something that I would like to share with you. The end of the video, this video may be a bit darker. Please forgive me. The reason is that power just went out. So I don't have too much light in my face again, but I hope you can still hear me very clearly. I'll share the last bit of what I want to say with you. I was having my devotion this morning and I read Open Heavens. It spoke a lot to me about this topic. And then I just deviated because this is not what I scheduled to speak about today, but I heard him speaking strongly about getting knowledge. I said, that's it, because our last video was actually about knowledge. So I'm going to read for you a verse that, I saw today in the devotional, and it really said something. It's Proverbs 18:15 that says, the heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. If you want to be great, soaring higher than your peers, then you must gather more knowledge than they and apply it to. That is wisdom. I urge you all to get as much as you can, the resources that are available to you. Get knowledge. Let us get Nigeria producing things the right way. I love you from the depth of my heart. Do not forget to subscribe. See you next on the Designer's Dashboard.